Welcome back, viewers, and Merry Christmas. This season we celebrate the birth of Christ and love and giving. This time of year, producers like Disney or DreamWorks publish good works of holiday specials, from Elf or Home Alone. Many people try to prove a religious message or wisdom, like giving to the poor or seeking the wonderful world of make-believe. So how do they know how to put emphasis on the moral? Well, this video I'll explain what makes a good Christmas special and makes a time of love and prosper a part of everyday lives. I'm Zach Savage, and today we will look at the right way to make a Christmas special. So here we go. The first thing we do is look at how not to make a Christmas special. Not all Christmas specials are alike. Some have filler, like the constant Wookiee noises from Star Wars, to not explain anything at all, like the Christmas tree. The worst it can get is having nothing to do with Christmas, like the Kingdom Chums or Care Bears and the Nutcracker. The first thing to do is find the message for your movie or special. This can be something the audience has to learn about the meaning of Christmas. A good example of this is A Christmas Carol. The fact that Scrooge learns an important lesson on greed through the eyes of three ghosts make the audience build a bond for the character who is learning the truth of what it means to respect the poor. It starts out with a funeral where Scrooge is constantly paying people with wooden nickels and insulting Tiny Tim. Then the rise in action has Scrooge haunted by three spirits dedicated to change the mind of Scrooge. Climax is when Scrooge falls into a coffin, waking up to find out it is a dream, then ends when he changes his ways. This is all good in many ways because he knows what the actions of greed led him to and learns the consequences. Stupidly, there are actually specials that try to move away from this in a bad way. For example, as mentioned above, The Christmas Tree has a really shitty moral and bad plot. It starts out at an orphanage where this lady dresses poor children in fancy clothes to impress the mayor, who has no money management skills because he says 2 money bags with no amount on it. Not to mention it's a kids movie where she drinks, smokes, and gambles. The ending, which I would like to talk about more, has the owner of a chainsaw about to cut down the tree the children love, then struck by lightning by Santa Claus. The woman survives and is now good for no reason whatsoever. The ending said by the narrator that the orphanage founder is now good and gives the message that you will always win if you're good. Like, what kind of a message is that? They don't elaborate anything. So this ending is garbage compared to other messages like true love and goodwill. That's why when you become a writer, you must focus on a cohesive, clear message and not one that is weak or vague, or what would be the point. Not only did the person survive, the plot made no sense at some point, so how she was revived is a mystery. In my last video, I pointed out that Graham's bear went from grouchy to happy, but this came out of nowhere with no introduction. Hell, she doesn't even resemble a grandma, no offense to old people. Using logic and sense will be explained later. Step 2. Character development is sometimes added to make meaning of learning something valuable on a blessed day more explainable towards children. If you remember the film Who Framed Roger Rabbit, you might remember that Eddie Valiant was a detective who hated cartoons. When he was tasked to find out who killed the mayor of Toontown, he and Roger eventually worked together to stop the culprit. Turns out Judge Doom, who is a Toon, plans to kill Eddie and conquer Toontown. With the help of Roger Rabbit, they stop Judge Doom and save Toontown. So what does this have anything to do with Christmas? As I said before, in Christmas specials like A Christmas Carol, if Scrooge wasn't confronted, he would probably end up like a grouch for the rest of his life. Then what would be the point? How would there be escapism? Christmas is the time of year that we should understand how to respect each other and learn about values in our lives, to have important spiritual feelings in us. One bad example, just like I said earlier, Care Bear's Thanksgiving, where Gramps Bear had little to no character development of her personality, almost like it came out of nowhere. Character development doesn't really happen that much on cartoons due to standard jokes and gags, to keep away from religious offenses. Next, step 4. A script that makes a clear, cohesive plot. This is a pretty obvious writing skill, but it's what makes holiday specials work. In George Lucas's Star Wars holiday special, a Wookiee family is doing I have no fucking idea through bizarre noises and imagery. I have no fucking idea what's going on. These expressions don't make up for the fact that you can't understand what's going on until much later when Luke, Mark Hamill, Skywalker, comes in and kills 2 stormtroopers, and they gather for a far, far away holiday celebration that I couldn't care less about. If the story doesn't explain anything, then the whole thing is incomprehensible and unenjoyable for the viewer. This is also a good writing tip for movies, even books that have no explanation, that can suffer from this audience to capture moral and reason. If you want to give no reason as to why someone does something or gives little to no backstory, you can screw up like a dead light bulb. This skill is easily avoidable error you can fix. Step 5. Write the script. So now that you know how to pull your audience, then comes when you must write the story. Start out by writing something original, like make a story about an elf that takes place of Santa Claus on Christmas, or write a biblical rendition of Jesus. Or you can make a story about your own characters getting into shenanigans. I prefer unique stories like a character doing or going through something heroic or adventurous. Since I celebrate Christmas religiously, I don't mind reenactment of a Bible story, just as long as it's not cliched or overdramatic. The original Kingdom Chums had great artwork for the time of the 1980s, especially a good interesting plot about travel outside a computer. However, the 1990s remake was annoying, overly hyper and monotonous with songs and useless lessons. This is why making Christmas specials should be done by people who are experienced writers, so that they can express their positive thoughts on Christmas profoundly. Lastly, step 6. Build a climax. If you want to make a good impression on how to scare or emotionally impact people on what the true meaning of Christmas is about, it's pretty explainable, but like how Scrooge developed with a meaning for changing his ways, without a climax there would be no effort put into learning something new and having an impact on doing the right thing. Personally, I experienced shows like Fat Albert about learning new ways to cope with everyday life. A good climax is what keeps the story held together and makes a good flow of positive energy near the end. The resolution is what really kicks in, and why we need to authenticate the climax so that the story gets 2 thumbs up. Without a doubt, Christmas specials are what teach us about everyday life lessons. How to be a good person, how to worship Jesus, and overall, the right thinking mood. If we didn't have Christmas specials, then there would be no point to learn what the holidays are truly about. And that's why I sincerely support Christmas specials on another level. Thank you for watching and have a very Merry Christmas and peace!